Good day guys, Victifreak here and welcome back to another drawing tutorial. Now, I am finally back from my long hiatus and I am truly sorry. My last video was uploaded over a month ago now. So I'm very sorry that I haven't been able to upload for a while. I've just been really busy and I don't really have any excuse other than that. But I'm finally back and hopefully, even though I said this last time, hopefully I'll be able to bring out more videos more regularly. But yeah, so with that out of the way, today we'll be drawing Alolan Marowak. And so here we have, first of all, 3 shades of purple. We have a very light purple, and we have a mid-tone and a dark purple. So this is a kind of grayish purple, the light one, and the rest are just regular purples, except a bit more on the dark side, I guess. And we also have just a regular gray color. We also have 2 teal-ish colors. So we have this slightly more green teal color, so it's just a green with a bluish tint to it. So this is a fairly light color. Actually, they're both fairly light colors. So this is the more greenish teal, and this is the more blue. So this is just a blue with a bit of green in it. Finally, there's also another blue. This one is a bit darker compared to the other green and blue, and there is a bit of green in it. It is much more blue though, and slightly darker, and this is going to be used to outline as well. So this is going to be for the fire on the bone. So instead of outlining like we do with the rest with this blue outliner, we're going to be using this slightly darker blue color. Alright, with that out of the way, let's get on with the sketching. So the actual image is fairly tall, I guess. It's more portrait than it is landscape. That is mainly because of the bone that Marowak is holding, which is slightly tilted facing this way, and so that gives the picture a bit of height. Alright, so we'll just start off with drawing a straight line a little higher than the middle, I'd say. So just somewhere around here, just draw a straight horizontal line. So it doesn't have to be perfect, this is just to separate the head and the bone, I guess. So the bottom half will be where the head and the body will be, and the top part will just have the bone poking out of it. And let's see, so let's have the head on the left side. So we'll just draw like a curved triangle, I guess. So just make it fairly big, because this is a skull after all, so it's gonna be bigger than what we think the actual head looks like, which we still don't know. We'll probably never know what Marowak's face actually looks like. Same goes for Cubone. And we'll have the body around here, I'd say. So not very wide. So we're just gonna have a diagonal oval just go down like so. And the tail just follows like so. And we'll just have a leg somewhere around here, just right between the body and the tail. And we'll have the foot here, just a circle like that. And we'll have the other leg somewhere around here, I'd say, so about a third of the way down. So again, we'll just draw 2 ovals, and actually another one here. Alright, that looks good enough for now. We don't really need to add really any detail at the moment. And we also have the arm that's coming out, stretched out like so. We'll just curve down and have the hand around here. So just make an oval, not as far as the tip of the tail, but pretty close to it. And notice that the arm gets a little thinner as we go towards the middle. Alright, that looks good enough for now. And let's see. Next, I think we can just do the other hand then. So, about a third of the way at the top of the skull on the right. So, around here, we're gonna have the other arm and we'll have the hand here. And it's gonna be holding on to the bone. So we'll just draw in just the shape of the bone. Have it tilting a little more downwards, so a little more vertical than 45 degrees. So just a little more vertical. I'm going to change the hand into a diagonal square. I think that's a better idea. Oh, I made the bone a little too long, and so I need to fix that up also. I think I just made the skull a little too big in general, so I think I'll just make that a little smaller. Okay, something like that looks a little better. And now I'll be able to actually fit the flame on the bone so that you can actually see it on the camera with everything else. So don't really have to add too much detail now. And the circle on the bone will be just around here at the bottom. And we'll just have flames. Okay, barely managed to fit all of this in camera, but I think it'll be fine. Okay, so now let's start adding a few more details in the drawing. Alright, so maybe we'll start off with the skull, because that's the most important part of Marowak. So, let's see. We'll just start off with the little dome of the skull then. So, around where, so let's just draw two lines pretty equal, so just around the middle third of the triangle we have here. We'll just draw in the dome, and just gonna have an ear bone thing poking out like so, and here is the little detailed bits. So just draw it coming out and curve in a little, and we're just gonna keep drawing a few of these just little spiky parts, I guess. And I think I'll just make the body slightly bigger. Alright, this last one, this little curve here, is the biggest out of the rest we have, so just gonna make a big jump here, and then we're gonna have one line. We'll have this one little line here, and then we're gonna start going back up. We're just gonna make a little line again. We'll have another one. No curves, just straight lines. And then we're just gonna go slightly inwards, and about the middle, around the middle of the skull, I'd say, so around here, we're gonna start coming back out again, and inwards once again, and then we're gonna have the other ear bone like thing, and this is gonna join back behind the dome. So notice that the E here, it starts in front of the dome, and this one ends at behind the dome. Okay, now let's start adding a few more things. So there's a little bit where it's poking out at the bottom here. We're just gonna extend the line a little, and we're just gonna make a line almost parallel to the one next to it, except get slightly closer as we go down. Like so, and around this little line here, the point, we're just gonna stop and make another little line that goes a little more to the right, just like that. And around here maybe, so a little lower, we're gonna have another line. It's more of a little shaded in oval, except it's very thin, and we'll pretty much do the same thing. Make a line that goes up, and make sure the lines start going apart as we go higher, just these two ones in the middle. And this one can curve just a little bit, and we're just gonna change course slightly. And this one, we're gonna stop around this at the beginning of the ear, but if it were to keep going, it should just continue and not quite reach the tip of the ear here, but just a little under it. So yeah, that looks pretty good. Alright, and then let's just add in the eye. So it's pretty simple really. Just add a triangular shape. Very fierce, piercing eyes. Looking towards our right. There we go, that looks pretty good. And then we have a little pattern like thing in here. So there's just gonna be two lines meeting toward, let's just draw a line in the middle actually. So this is gonna be the middle of the skull. That's gonna be pretty helpful to draw this little pattern. So just gonna draw two lines going up, and from the bottom just make it look like we're almost about to draw a star, but that's not what we're doing. From here we're just gonna go up on both sides, and it's gonna start spreading out a little bit, so just moving apart from each other just slightly. And then we're gonna have 3 spikes, so just gonna make 2 small ones on the end and 1 longer one at the top. There we go. And since the skull isn't facing exactly in front of us, we want to make it so that the little spike shapes, the right side of the spike is always a little curved inwards, and the left side is curving outwards slightly because the head is facing the left a little. Alright, so I think that looks pretty good. Maybe make this line slightly more horizontal. Alright, that looks good. And we'll just make the dome extend a little more. Also, yeah, forgot about this a little bit. So I purposely left these unconnected, the little 2 parts here, because there's another little spiky part coming out from behind. Almost forgot about that bit. Okay, and let's see. Also, yeah, there's gonna be just, you can tell that with these 2 lines here that are parallel to this bottom one, that's gonna be the bottom bit of the skull. So yeah, I think that looks pretty good. So now let's see, what should we move on to? Maybe just actually fix this up a little. make the lines a little more horizontal. Alright, so I guess now we'll just move on to the body then. So with the body, it's gonna pretty much follow the shape that we've already drawn. So around here, just gonna start curving. And don't draw the legs yet, because this is just gonna follow and just go straight to the tail. And again, and here there's a little spike, a little vertical line, and then just diagonally down. Just a little spike there, and then back up. And this is gonna go straight into the back actually. So with the back, don't make a curve that comes outwards. We wanna go inwards into the body. Just go straight into the tail once again. Okay, and we'll have the hand here. So again, this is pretty much the same shape that we drew before, lightly. Alright, and the hand. Now this is a little more detailed. So just gonna keep going up, and then just gonna start going down a little. Make a little bump here. Just a little bump. Like that. Not sure if you can tell because it's pretty little. And we're just gonna go straight down. And the hand almost looks like oven mitts, I guess. So we're just gonna draw a little triangular dent almost. Just a hand. And just gonna go straight back in there. And we'll just have two lines here. Have this one curve outwards and this one a little more inwards. So this one's going to be curving up, this one curves down. And then we're going to have just a claw, I guess. Just a finger. Can't really tell what it is, if it's a finger or like just a claw. Not really sure. Alright, that looks pretty good. Maybe just make this a little less. Just make it curve a little more. Okay, that took a little more adjusting than I thought it would, but okay, so that's pretty much it with the body. And so now we'll add in the legs. Oh, actually no, before we add in the legs, we'll just add in the little pattern we have on the belly. So just gonna draw an oval in, just like so. And there's just gonna be some lines on it. Leave a gap here. It's gonna be a bit of a gap. Around the middle is where you start again. So from the oval here, we're just gonna follow it down. It's gonna go straight into the leg. Just keep going down and just make a leg just around here, and we have a foot. And just make an oval here. And just curve back up. Like so. Alright. Pretty simple. And we'll do the other leg too. So this one's also pretty simple. We're just gonna draw pretty much what we already have here. We're just gonna make a line that curves upwards. And I'm just gonna go straight down. And it's gonna be a little, I'm not sure what it is, like a claw, I guess, or just the tip of the foot, I guess. Not really sure what to call it. But yeah, so that's pretty much it. Now let's see. I think I'm gonna make the back a little bigger. It's a little too thin, the body. And there's also a little shape on the back here. Just like, probably not the oval behind. Just draw part of that. And that's pretty much it with the body. We also have the other hand here then. So just have, it's a little more to the left actually, the hand. So around where the right of the dome and the ear bone meets, we'll just have the hand here. So it's actually a little more to the left. And just have the hand and we'll make a little fist here. Alright, that looks good enough. And then we can have the bone, so just coming out of here. And we'll just have the tip of the bone. I'm sure you'll know what that looks like. So, just 2 lumps. Okay, that looks pretty good, and we'll just make the flames a little more accurate. So just rub those out. And we'll just draw in the flames now. The flames, I guess they can be whatever shape you want, because, I mean, it's not like fire stays in what shape all the time, so it doesn't really matter. It doesn't have to be totally the same all the time. Alright, I think we're ready to move on to the outlining now. So, keep in mind when you're outlining that you want to outline the flames with the dark blue. So, I will rub everything out lightly, and I'll probably have to rub out the flame bits a little more than the rest, because otherwise you'll be able to see the pencil through the blue. So I'll have to do that, and once you finish outlining, be sure to let it dry for a little before we rub all of the rest of the pencil out. Alright. Alright, I finished outlining and I have rubbed out all the pencil, and I also let the ink after I finished outlining sit to dry before I start rubbing out so that none of the ink would smudge. And so we are also now just going to fill in the eye, and the reason I didn't do this earlier is the same reason as letting it sit, is that it takes longer to dry if you color in a lot of an area if you just fill in with the outliner, and a lot of the time it won't actually dry by the time you're rubbing out to the pencil, and so you'd smudge it and you wouldn't be able to fix it without whiteout, which you can't really color over very well. So that's why it's always good to fill in any parts with the outliner after you finish rubbing out. Alright, so now that we're done with that, we can start coloring in. So with the colors, I think we'll start off with the gray. So that's going to be the bones. So that's going to be the skull and the bone. And so with the colors, most of Marowak is shaded, I guess. So the face is darker, and there's some light at the back that gives it that ominous and dark look to it. So it's instead of the shade at the bottom, it's just gonna be mostly in the front, I guess, and there's gonna be some light areas around it. So that would include just at the bottom here, it's gonna be a little lighter around there. There's gonna be quite a bit of light around the top here, and a bit on the side here as well. And with the bone at the back, the bottom part is pretty much all just shaded, and the top half is not. Let's see. We're also going to be using the gray to fill it in the little claws here, so that's that little hand there, and the feet, the tip of the feet. So all of that is going to be shaded in. So that's all we're doing, and we might just do a bit of shading in the eye, barely, just a little bit, so very lightly. And so that's going to be all for the gray. Okay, that's all with the gray. So now I think we'll move on to the purple then. I think I want to keep the fire for last, because that looks like the most fun bit. Alright, so the purples. We have 3 shades of purple. So we have the very light one. I think we're going to start with this. So with the very light purple, it's only going to be the eye and the belly. Although, oh actually, and that little thing on the back. Although the belly is going to be shaded underneath the head, so we're going to use the mid-tone purple for the shading there. And we also have the dark purple, yeah, so we also have the dark purple. So the dark purple will be for the shaded part of the mid-tone purple, which will be filled in, which will be filling in the little pattern on the skull and the rest of the body. And that is it. So yeah, with the shaded part of the mid-tone or the body, will be around like under the hand there. Most of the body, like I said, the light is going to be at the back, so the shade will be mostly at the front. So that's going to be most of it. So the mid-tone of the body will be somewhere like on the edge of the outline, so just around here. And that's pretty much it with the purple. And also, there's going to be a bit of shading at the top part of the eye here, so just press a little harder there. Okay. Now all we have left to do are the flames. So, we aren't gonna be using the dark blue because we already used that for the outlining. So the only colors we'll be using will be the bluish green and the greenish blue, if that makes a difference. But so the more green color will be on the top. It'll mostly be on the top, and the blue mostly on the bottom. And there will be more of the blue than the green overall. So, it's not gonna be one solid shade with these colors. Obviously, like I said, this doesn't have, it's not a solid shape, so it can have shades and lighter areas anywhere you like, really. So, there might be some darker parts here, it doesn't really matter. So I'm just gonna draw in the areas where it'll be green, and then I'm just gonna fill it in, and then we'll be done. Alright, that's it for this drawing then. I think that turned out pretty nicely. So be sure to hit that like button if you enjoyed this video, and let me know if you drew along with me. How did your drawing of Alolan Marowak go? And if you would like, you can tweet me your drawing over on my Twitter page, left the link in the description. And so yeah, if you have any suggestions for future drawing tutorials, be sure to let me know in the comments below. And so be sure to hit that subscribe button to keep up to date to those awesome future videos. And as usual, I will see all of you beautiful people next time.